Hey folks, this is Dragon Human Knight 600, and we are here at episode 36 of Transformers Micron Legend, Mars Conflict, and I have a little story to tell about this episode. The first fanfic that I ever wrote was about this episode of Transformers Armada. Basically, it was a first-person retelling of the events of this episode, and I switched POV between different characters for like each scene. So basically what happened was, first fanfic I ever wrote, I decided to write a first-person perspective from the voice of Starscream's Minicom, Grid, who is an English dub named Swindle. So I basically, from the opening scene, which you're about to see, I wrote it from Swindle's perspective, and I posted that. It was like, I don't remember how long it was, maybe 5 pages or so. And a friend of mine, who is still my friend to this day, said, dude, you're really good at this. You've never read a fanfic before? This is great. I think you found your calling. You know, she said stuff like that. And she encouraged me to write a part 2, which I was not planning to write. So I'm like, okay, so I wrote part 2 from a different character's perspective, and I basically ended up going through the entire episode like that, just switching between different characters. So I wrote a chapter from Jetfires, and one from Starscreams, and one from some OCs, and one from Megatrons, and one... Let's see, who else? Was that everybody? Maybe Hot Rod too. Maybe there was one from Alexis. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at that fanfic. But yeah, my obsession with writing fanfic today, and in some small way, perhaps, my career as a screenwriter, though it hasn't started, but my chosen career as a screenwriter might have its genesis here. And though it was not the first thing I ever wrote, it was the first fanfic I ever wrote. And if you're writing specs for an existing TV show, you're basically getting paid to write fanfic. Regardless, this is Mars. And like I said, it's hard for me to go back and read it, because if you're some kind of artist, no matter what you write or draw or sculpt or do, it is a nightmare to go back and look at your very earliest works, because you basically like cringe yourself inside out due to the humiliation. You're like, oh, can't believe I did that there. And like, there's a sense that it's embarrassing because you don't know what you were thinking, but it is actually worse if you do know what you were thinking, because you're like, oh my god. You know. You know. You're a well of insight, Alexa. Nothing gets by you. By that face, I'm guessing he forgot that he left something in the oven. It's just so beautiful, guys. I think. Honestly, he looks stoned as fuck right now, so it wouldn't make sense that he's gazing wondrously at the scenery. Whoa. I bet I could lick up the flowers. I've never been high. What do you mean, might? We just saw him lashing out in anger. It would be consistent with his previous behavior for him to react in anger. Was he telling her to be quiet or them? I like the way they ran, like...
Micron
That was a great conversation they had. Was he even listening to her? These flowers sure are pretty. Fuck you! I don't get it. What's the emotion we're supposed to walk away with? We weren't asking about the Microns, we were asking about you. Meanwhile, Megatron was having a similar tantrum. They have so much in common, guys. Why do they fight? Oh, right, because they're two massive egos, and one of them is pure evil and tried to kill him and beat him and... Just see that shit! That was a mountain! That's the power of the Requiem Blaster. When everybody's like, oh, Solus Prime died so easily, just one shot from the Requiem Blaster. That thing took out a mountain! It was like a magic trick. Gone! It's not even dust. There's not even dust left. Dude, he blew up a mountain! Oh man, we have to build shit ourselves now? Abolition sucks. Oh yeah, it's a barrel of fun at the Destron base. We're it's endless party time. Oh, I forgot about this scene. You don't have to yell at me, Mom! I'm doing my best! Doubleface is like, okay, I'm realizing you have way more issues than I thought. Boy, this show likes to constantly top itself with the powers. We found a shield that can block the sword, but there's a weapon that's even more powerful. But that weapon isn't powerful enough, so there's something even more powerful! Sword, shield, and gun. It's just a natural combination. Those things just merge together seamlessly. It's like, no, it doesn't. Perhaps I shouldn't be wearing clown makeup and also holding my hand backwards. Aha! Oh, what does that mean? You could have that really lame toy that Nostalgia Critic made fun of that I can't remember the name of. The one that looks like a dildo. Maybe you could have a bayonet with a shield on top. Did you just now remember that? But Doubleface can't be trusted, but maybe he can be. Why isn't this in some kind of booklet of great monologues? Oh, because of the laugh. I see. Carry on. Boy, you better be pretending in Prince if you think you can pull off that laugh. He can't, and he's not. Alexa is very particular about how she types. Your hands aren't even going to the keyboard. They already found all the ones on the moon. Stop jumping up every time we say Megatron's name. Wow, how did that happen? Maybe it is because the ship crash landed on Earth after skidding off the moon, so that's quite a bounce that Micron had to escape the moon's gravity and fly all the way to fucking Mars. Unless that one decided to bail out of the ship way early. We have a warp gate. I guess the moon was too far for them to go without using Megatron's warp gate. Hey, I figured out the plot hole in the last episode. So they have to manually fly to... Didn't Starscream nearly die flying from the Earth to Moon? Now is it no problem at all for him to fly from the Earth to Mars? New plot hole! Like I said last video, this episode I think is the main reason people ship Jetfire and Starscream. And they spend most of the episode hating each other. Because people don't know what romance looks like. Even though they don't want us to go into space, we still shine spacesuits. Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha ha! Alright. Mars is not the universe. He won't. He just stepped on the boys. Also, there's a rotten egg pie. I got way better at escaping Earth's gravity since I nearly died last time by trying to talk to Megatron while looking for his contact. Also, the placement of the Astro Blaster there in that shot. Freud would be proud. It's concerning. You might need to get a brace. You don't want scoliosis. So Thrust's back problems are giving you Destron strategy now? Much more interesting than sitting in this chair pretending that this gun is my penis.
スタースクリーンめどこに消えた何を気にしてるんだあんな勝手なやつ今はマイクロンだ
People sure like to talk to themselves in anime. Not that I have any right to talk. Is that the first time we've seen Jetfire's Micron on screen?
頼むぞ
He doesn't even say his name!
を見つけてくれスピード勝負だからな
Pretty cuting that, I mean, pretty cute and fitting, cuting, that his Micron is a space probe. We really need more space ult modes for, Transformers. Hello? Snake? Snake? Oh, there you are, Snake. Can you hear me now?
聞こえない
Too far. Take off your helmet, you mental laxative!
そんなの脱げばいいだろ
On the plus side, you guys got a bitchin' Halloween costume for this year. They are right underneath a space station, so I mean, a NASA sort of station, so I guess it makes sense that they would have spacesuits, since all their parents work there, but it also doesn't, because what if they have spacesuits in child sizes? So never mind. The show is stupid. Megatron, is that you hovering above me and blotting out the sun and shouting shockwave? Seriously, is it? You can nod. Alright. You know, it occurs to me we might be woefully unprepared to deal with Martian weather. I guess Tidal Wave is big enough sometimes for both Starscream and Jetfire to see him separately despite not being in the same location, so... They're reusing shots, but throwing over the sandstorm filter on top of it. Hey, you know what's not in the sandstorm? Sandstorm. But I guess a helicopter couldn't fly in these conditions. But a helicopter also couldn't fly in space or on the moon. So, they're very selective about what they're realistic about. God, my head is round. Oh, you. We got a tsundere, folks. Sort of. Ish. Boy, that was a quick sandstorm. Also, my turban's unclogged, so I don't think I can fly. Just kidding, we're not realistic about that either. You know, every time we talk to you, you yell at us. We're out of here. Finally. You just told them to get lost, asshole! What'd you think they'd do after you told them to leave? Time for the pity party. Why won't he notice me? You sure are melodramatic. Ooh, it's sparkly. And he, like, befitting Starscream's sudden fascination with scenery, he just stares at it for 3 hours. Wow. They came back. Oh. And they brought you. The music is indicating we should have a moment now. Awkwardly and jankily. Very jankily. Weren't you just saying how you didn't think Jetfire would help you? Man, he's like a teenager. Is he a teenager? His voice is rather deep. What does that have to do with you sitting on the goddamn floor like a toddler? What was with that heavy clanking noise? Shit!
逮捕しちゃうぞってか。
ふざけるな。こいつを外せ。
嫌だね。言っただろ逮捕するって。これから先のお前
Does the Cybertron base have a brig?
俺の手の中にあるってことだ。
Are you sure you want to be tied to this guy?
勝手なやつ。
They're just leaving.
負傷したスタースクリームを火星より一時退避させます。
I told you I could do this without him.
まだだ。
Him acting up doesn't prove it. You can do it without him.
了解した。スタースクリームを。
It's just one Micron. We have like thousands here now. Sorry, one guy.
さあ、衛星軌道を離脱するぞ。
やめろ、私に構うな。
俺たちの目的は仲間の救出だ。
Come on, grow up and turn off that Linkin Park. I'm talking to
お前
you.
も今はサイバトロンとなったのだろう。
As a related note, there were a lot of AMVs about Starscream with Linkin Park songs back in the day, in the early days of
俺が
YouTube.
助けるんじゃない。みんなの気持ちがお前を助けるんだ。
マイクロンはどうするんだ。
怪我人は黙ってろ。行くぞ。
待て。
ああ、もういい加減にしろ。
See what I say about them just hating each other most of the
相手を捨
episode?
てる場合じゃないって。
違う。マイクロンだ。
何？
Dialogue?
あそこか。
救出するんだろう。
俺のモットーを教えてやろうか。
Or maybe we could just go get a milkshake.
行くぜ。
I feel like the subtitlers were taking liberties with that line. I don't think that pun works in Japanese. Probably, maybe there's some kind of pun there, or maybe not. I don't care.
スタースクリーム、お前の役目だ。
私の。わかった。取れ。
And
もうちょっと寄ってくれ。
you could just land on the asteroid, you know. Oh. Hey, take my hand. Take my hand. Take my hand, darn you! Lazy short guy. That's the best I could do with an insult. Lazy short guy. Track them down. We already found them. That's not the right verb at all. Okay. I'm restricting his TV privileges for this. Why is everyone acting so immature in this episode? Warriors, millions of years old. There. You know, usually in a handcuffed together episode, there would be more hijinks, more of the characters getting stuck in ridiculous situations, more personalities clashing, and there's a bit of that here, but not really enough. Like, if Jetfire and Starscream are going to be handcuffed together, the episode should probably be about that. And not just because it's fangirl bait, though that is a reason, but because it leads to more situations.
分かってきたじゃねえか。
デストロンになるな。自分を守るために。撃て！撃て！
Protect yourself. I do like the way they translated that line in English when Starscream says, "Don't become a Decepticon, save yourself." That's pretty emotional. Honestly, this episode is a pretty close translation of... The English dub is pretty close to the original, it seems. I love that. He like says nothing. It's like when a dog, when you drop food on the floor, it's like when Megatron shows up. You got an obsession, man. Okay, that's it. All three. 1, 2. Disturb not the harmony of fire, ice, and lightning! Or something. Whoa, whoa, whoa! They've been in the same room before and this has never happened. Great. Now you bringing them together just to see what happened killed us all. I hope you're happy. What? She hasn't been able to see what happened this whole time. Why are you surprised? Ah. Just a huge surge of energy the likes of which no living being has ever seen. You guys want to get coffee? Boy, we sure were useful in this episode. Never mind. Oi, Megatron. Scene starting.
どこだここ
In space, where you've been for a while. Technically, though, aren't we always in space? Food for thought.
間違いありません。3つの力が合わさった時。
謎のパワーか
ですね。
パワーか。
いらぬ動揺は
Convoy saying power with his Japanese accent, it sounds exactly the same as Emperor Palpatine saying the word power in whatever the fuck accent he's supposed to have.
どうってことはない
Unlimited power! I'm excited for Star Wars, folks, can you tell?
宇宙って鼻がかけないんだよね。あれ、鼻どこにあんの？
ここだよ、ここ。鋭い。
Don't make me imagine a nose under there. It's
ねえ
weird.
お土産は？
あいにくと火星のお土産屋は定休日だったよ。
定休があるの？
スタースクリーム、
なんだ
マイクロンを見つけるの協力してくれたのね。あなたはマイクロンのこと好きだから、やっぱりサイバトロンの仲間だって思う。
Thanks for that.
うるさい私の目的はメガトロンを倒す
Most of what he said to her so far has been shut up. Like, it's really great. But he also brought the souvenir that Jetfire didn't bring. Thanks.
カルロス、
No, well, never mind, Carlos. You can't come over here if you're gonna make that expression.
メガトロンを倒すこと、それがスタースクリームの目的なのかもしれない。
He also likes flowers and shiny
私た
things.
ちの本当の仲間になる日はそんなに遠くない。
Or,
そんな気がしていたの。
oh, honey. She was so young, so full of dreams and hopes, and hopes and dreams, and hopes and hopes and dreams and rickandmorty.com. Okay, so that was Mars Conflict, and I think I can see as a kid, wow, the guy who did the storyboard and the credit above were both named Akira. Weird. Anyway, you can see why as a kid I was so fascinated with this episode. This episode starts the plot line of Starscream and Alexa's friendship. It had kind of sort of been hinted at that maybe it was going in that direction. There's another Akira. There are a lot of Akiras working on the show. In an earlier episode, and previous episodes, Alexa is one of the first to give him a chance. She expresses concern about him in previous episodes when nobody else did. And it was even, you could argue, I foreshadowed this early as the second episode, when the Destrons are blocking in the kids, and they surround them on all sides. Starscream pulls up next to Alexa. And even earlier in that same episode, when Starscream reaches down to pick up Wheelie, Alexa is in the way and he almost grabs her before Hot Rod blocks him. So little things like that. Like, this is something they were probably planning to do for a while and we're finally getting to it. So you can see why it's fascinating to me as a kid from that perspective. But also just, there is some character development that happens here. And it is kind of nice to get introspective on Starscream and have him see the beauty of Earth for the first time and all this stuff. Like I said, this episode is a pretty direct translation. They do, however, remove dialogue in some places and just leave them quiet. And in some places that creates more awkward pauses. But in that scene where Starscream is looking over the flowers, I think it's more powerful silent, actually more focused and gets across what that moment was about. Whereas the English dub has an internal monologue over that scene that kind of ruins the scene. Because it's not about that at all. But anyway, next episode made my brother cry. And he was like 9 or something when he saw this, but it still made him cry. Several episodes have made my brother cry as a kid. It was actually concerning. I'll point out the second when we get to it, but I don't think I'll have to because you'll know what it is. But anyway, next episode, Decision Based on Pride. That's a terrible name. This is Dragon Keeper 9600, signing off.